instead of stuff.
Billy B.
You know, just
Did he? I missed that.
what can you
I
do?
think, yeah, but that was
Ah,
CD
damn.
was a fantasy dog or something like that. I
Oh,
think that's what the commercial that they did. Are we rolling? We
Yeah.
on?
we on.
Oh, we on?
We
Oh, we-
live.
Let me tell the people that we on.
Yeah, we are officially live. We're back.
Right.
We're back
We
like we
back.
never left.
Don't comment on my motorcycle jacket.
Can
It
we-
was free.
Can we be? Boy, ain't nobody. You motorcycle
Bruh.
jacket, no motorcycle. Shut up.
That's fair.
We are
How about
live.
I didn't see the
Huh?
pads
Can
on
we-
the
can
shoulders.
Can we be our normal selves?
Yeah, that's it.
We can.
Yeah, so we're here to
That's what-
test.
Man.
Fresh
I gotta know.
Y'all didn't see. Oh, you can hit a little bup. You can hit a little. You get all it's bouncing. Oh, that Joe bouncing. Look at that Joe bouncing. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
See, like, always taking
That's
it
what
to
I'm
another
talking
level.
about. You
That
gotta
is
take it to
why.
another.
Hey, we have to, man.
He's connected to me, and the other one's
It's
connected
called-
to you.
It's
Cordell
called.
thought it through.
It's called mic check.
One,
Man,
two,
look,
1,
you
2.
knew what to do.
You gotta check them.
That would have been.
You gotta
insane.
make sure it's capable.
All right. Now
Quality.
Let's
Doing
get
what
this
it
thing
needs to do.
started. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Welcome into Outspoken Network. We are officially back.
Like we never left.
Chill.
Ignore the months.
We had a lot of we had some
I like
issues,
that.
but
I like
you
that.
know, I think we're back here. We're ready to knock this thing out, see how things go. We got a lot to catch up on, a lot to talk about in this little bit of time, this hour that we got left, which you got before the Monday Night Football game between the Battle of Texas.
Dun, dun.
It deserved that. This Cooper Rush.
Just that small.
Yeah, just
that
that's what
small,
that's what
too.
I
it
mean,
is.
yeah,
Yes.
the hype is kind of
Gone.
gone to
But
what
see,
we thought it would be.
I need CJ to not only win this game, but to plant the Texans flag at the middle of the field, right over the star, because it's their state now.
They'll probably start a fight.
Is
They
this
probably would. But you know, it's their state now because the Cowboys they're fading away, guys.
For the foreseeable future. It's very shaky.
But
It's very disappointing.
last time we were here,
I wanted to beat them when they were good. That was what my intent was. Now it's just, you feel me? It don't hit the
Well,
same.
but now you're good, so someone has to be bad. That's just kind of how the division is. It wasn't gonna be the Eagles.
Oh boy.
so now that we are here, last time we were here was like maybe week 4, week 5.
God, dog.
Yeah.
Right? So
What has
we
happened
have
since?
so much.
Mm.
So let's do how we started and how it's going. I
Oh,
think that's
boy.
an
that's
easy
oh,
way
boy.
to smoothly
Oh,
get into this.
Can I go last?
How sure. Sure. You can go wherever you want to go.
Oh, these predictions are not looking good right now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking too bad.
So
We try and warn you about the Bengals every year.
Hey, look, never fails.
We was all wrong
Though
about the Chargers.
last year he got a mulligan with the
thought this
whole
was-
like
I
he
thought
got
this was the
injured
year.
last year.
I was
Joey
telling
B.
them last night, like a single tear came down when they tied the game up because I felt like Joe's doing it.
Nah, suck that joke back up.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
It did.
no,
Trust me.
there was no need for no tears.
It's like I believe in Joe Shiesty.
Justin Herbert wanted him to win that game so badly. He
all right,
really did.
So the way that it is going, coming into the season, we would say that the favorites we'll start with the AFC. The favorites coming out of the AFC, we had the Chiefs winning their division. We had who coming out of the East?
I had the Bills.
Coming out of the East?
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
No, the mics ain't that good.
The Dolphins. I had the Dolphins.
And I had the Jets.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the
God!
Jets.
Oh, that's
Oh,
worse.
my-
I ain't
Okay.
this
I
guy.
had the Jets.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
coming out of the
not much
north,
better.
coming out of the north,
The North.
I had the Ravens.
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 Mm-hmm.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay. Coming out of the south,
Texans.
Texans. Yep. Texans. Everybody had
Yeah, the
Texans.
Texans.
Yeah, everybody had Texans.
What you choking for?
I had a wild card team.
Oh, I didn't get there.
We
yet.
ain't-
We
we
didn't
ain't
get there
there
yet.
yet.
I'm just talking
It wasn't
division
the
win.
Jaguars, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. That's all right. When
And then we can
clock's ticking over there.
we can talk about our 3 wild cards coming out of the AFC.
Do we have to?
I
I don't
had
think we should.
I had the Jets
Oh,
in the
Jesus.
wild card.
Oh my God.
I had
Trying to tell you.
I believe I had the Bengals and the Browns. I think those were my 3. I think I had 3 teams coming out of the north.
Now,
Okay.
let's be real.
And none of those
The
for
Browns
me are in the wild card.
the Browns.
I mean, because the
because
Browns last year, he felt
yeah,
like
because the Browns last year, I said, look,
Y'all get on me about the Bengals, but at least
I had the Bengals.
no. But just believing in them for 2 years in a row, and while you're believing in the Browns, it's like
only just for 1 year.
Well,
though.
I didn't think that their defense. Everything took a step back. I think their defense took a step
That
back
part.
as well. I didn't anticipate
Mhm.
that.
The Browns stayed the same. They just lost Nick Chubb. That was where my head was
And
at.
something from last year, yeah.
The
Basically.
defense, like Myles Garrett, isn't as impactful as he was.
he's not.
The last year. Like everything
Denzel Ward
went
hasn't been
down. Right.
like
So I wasn't anticipating that. That's why to answer your question, which is fine. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised with the two teams that are in. So I'm good with it. But who did you have from now?
yeah. So I had Bengals, Dolphins,
Jesus.
and Jaguars.
Oh, you had Jaguars.
I did have
Ooh,
Jaguars.
I thought one of y'all did.
I thought they were gonna, sneak in that 7th spot.
And
Sneak.
right now he's 0 for 3 right now
Yeah,
with
I'm
a
also
stand as well.
I had Bills, Steelers, Browns.
Bills, Steelers, Browns. So the
I was
Bills and
wrong with the
Steelers are in the
Jets.
division.
Correct. So I'm only wrong with the Jets and the Browns.
Yes.
Everything else.
I had Bengals, Broncos, and Chargers. Yeah, that's who I had.
God dang
Yeah,
lie.
nah.
Who you got?
You did not believe in no Bo Nix.
You definitely didn't.
And not no Sean Payton.
Oh,
I had the Bengals, the Bills, and the Titans.
oh yeah, the Titans. You weren't gonna go
He was on them Titans.
Yeah.
And so the
like-
way
A week.
a couple drives.
so yeah, the way that the
It went
AFC
downhill very quickly.
the way that the AFC actually now shapes up, the way that it is Chiefs at 1, Bills at 2, Steelers at 3, Texans at 4, all division winners, leaders. And then we have the Chargers in the 5th seed, Ravens in the 6th seed, and Broncos in the 7th seed to round up the wild card teams with the Colts, Dolphins, Bengals all on the outside looking in.
Now I did tell you guys about the Chargers. You guys were pretty low.
You
on the- on
were
the fighting hardballs.
wishy-washy.
No, I
you
felt like
thought they would be better, but not to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought they would miss the playoffs by maybe a
But
game. or two.
you had your own internal conflict because you didn't like Greg
Mm-hmm.
Roman being the OC, and you were like, "Why is
Correct.
Greg Roman the OC?" And
Correct.
Justin Herbert's your
I
quarterback.
didn't think that
but
they were going to
it's
figure out.
working.
Right. I didn't know. I didn't think that they were going to be able to figure out how to still incorporate that running aspect for Justin Herbert and still be able to have a cohesive offense and win games. And they've been doing it. They're not asking Herbert to run the ball 10 times a game. He's getting design runs, and a lot of them are coming in the red zone where he doesn't have to necessarily, try to gas teams or put himself or have him out of position. So I have to give him that.
We all looked at the Chargers wrong, I guess, just based off of where the NFL is going. I feel as though,
That's fair.
like with how we view weapons, like Jim Harbaugh viewed his line, his toughness as
As a weapon. Yep.
right? Like
Correct.
that was what he was trying to get back. So he wasn't looking at like he let Keenan and Mike go,
Mhm.
right? He
Mhm.
wasn't looking at the
He
outside.
kept the
to try and-
defensive guys.
And it was weird because like when Justin Herbert is your best offensive player, you would think the best way of getting him going would be give him weapons, give him players to
Right.
get the ball to. When he was just thinking about it of we gonna just beat you.
Yeah, he's
You know what I'm saying?
and
Like,
he stockpiled
inside
that
out.
running back room as well. They got Gus Edwards in free agency. They already had J.K. Dobbins is right now the clear cut comeback player of the year in my opinion. He's the front runner at this point. And then they added a guy like Hassan Haskins as well late in the draft, a guy that he coached at Michigan. So you're right. Like he
He
took
took to
it
get Joe Alt with the first pick.
right.
With his first
He took a different approach with that offense, and it's paying off for him.
I thought they would be improved. I didn't have to make them the playoffs, but because I didn't know the development of Justin Herbert because personally it was just like similar to what we saw last night. If we go into last night's game, 27-6, I'm thinking, all right, blouses, game. Like if I'm putting
You
you
did
in
turn the
my
game off.
if I'm putting you in my top 10, then there's no way you should blow a 21 point lead. Like that's curtains. Hand over the sticks. It's over. That's how it should be. And then we're sitting here doing our recordings for our reaction videos. 27-0.
Joe Shiesty.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, no, that's unacceptable. If
That's-
Mahomes has a 21
You're
point
attributing that to
lead
Joe
on
Burrow?
Josh Allen, It's blouses.
That is
It's
Joseph.
blouses.
That is Joseph Burrow and Joseph Burrow alone. Okay. All right.
No,
I mean, to be
I
fair,
think
the
it's an
only
indictment.
lead that Patrick Mahomes is giving up was the 18-point lead against Joe Burrow.
Yes.
I believe in Joe Shiesty. Unlike
I
these heathens.
and
Hold on, wait.
I'm sticking to it.
Did
But
Joe Burrow throw a touchdown pass in that second half during that comeback? Was that
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Last night?
no? I was talking about against the Chiefs.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he
I'm not going.
did.
I'm not going back.
He
I'm
did.
not going all the way
He
back.
did.
There. We're not about to
I
debate
couldn't remember.
about Bengals Chiefs
Yeah,
2021
20. Yeah,
or
that was-
2022.
Damn, was that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. To answer your question, he did.
All right.
He also threw some last night as well.
But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Herbert because he's the focus here.
Mm-hmm.
Herbert,
Oh yeah, that guy.
and I'm like, you can't allow these things to happen. You can't, even if they're scoring and you see your defense giving up points, you have a 21-point head start. You need to just keep scoring, and this doesn't happen. So I'm still concerned with him because yes, they pulled it out this time versus in the playoffs, but that makes me a little concerned with you.
Granted, the run game stalled for them in the second half, and that's.
And I need you, top 10 quarterback, then to put this team on your back and
But
go.
that's not what their offense is right now.
But that if you are a top 10, you should be able to do that. Don't you agree? A top 10 shouldn't be able to carry a team
Not
for a
always.
game.
No, it depends.
A
On,
game.
It depends on the. No.
Herbert also fumbled too. Like he didn't help his causes neither. He gave the ball up, which is on him
So
directly.
I'm just saying it's a concern. I'm not red flagging it. Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
It's still a cause to
Remember what I said
pause.
about him and C-Mac?
That's just a yellow flag. It's just something that just
They're
came
gonna
up in my
find
mind.
ways. They're gonna find ways.
Nah, but
Like I've seen this in the past.
I mean,
I hope this isn't a bad habit. You
like
pulled
a-
through.
hold on. You have to put at least a little bit of credit on it, only because the
Credit to
one
Burrow.
playoff game he had with Herbert, it was literally the biggest comeback.
Right.
Like,
So
okay.
I'm sitting here.
Yeah,
So that's
so-
why, and I'm just like, but you pulled through this time. So I'm giving you credit. I'm acknowledging that y'all pulled through.
If
I just don't like
If Joe won it, would you have been given? Joe
Oh my
credit?
God, I would have lost my mind on Herbert. I would have been like, you the same old Herbert.
No,
Chargers charging.
No,
no, but do you give Joe
Would you
credit
give Joe the credit
for
if
coming
they would have
back?
completed the comeback?
I'm like, okay, Joe, you carried your team. You did it.
Kept him in the
You
playoffs.
kept them in the playoff hunt. That's what you're supposed to do.
That doesn't happen.
Nice.
So
But I feel as though we should credit offense, like just what his receivers unlock with him. He put the ball on the money, and they just
For the
putting in a little
viewers who may be confused, I have this running theory that when it comes to AFC quarterbacks, Cordell has.
crazy. I feel like I'm harder on the
It's
NFC
just-
quarterbacks than the
No.
Cordell
because
Mm.
I don't
apparently
even
has hate in his heart.
Oh,
I don't acknowledge
for
NFC
every
quarterbacks.
AFC quarterback. Like it's just if he ain't Josh or Patrick,
It's crazy.
I feel like the thing about Joe was
I like CJ Stroud. I don't know about y'all.
yeah, until
not even
you
quarterback.
play him, and then it's like
What?
All's fair in
You
that.
say no, hold on. But
We
you
got-
say you like CJ Stroud, but you would never. Would you say CJ Stroud is a threat to the Bills?
They were when they had Diggs. I don't think they are anymore. That's my honest answer. As soon as Diggs left, and I'm like, I
any
don't.
other quarterbacks in the AFC are a threat to you guys? Is Lamar a threat? Lamar's a threat to you, right?
No, Lamar's never been a threat to me.
A two-time MVP. See what I mean? I told you.
I mean, but
Yeah,
is Lamar a threat to the Steelers?
Yes.
No.
They
Well, yes and no.
So, but the
Because
reason,
having the Steelers
so
won, what, 7 of the last 8 versus the
right,
Ravens?
okay,
Something
but
crazy?
No, but he hasn't been there for all those.
All
He's
of
been
those, okay,
injured.
right.
Some of them.
So,
But he is 1-4 against.
so the
Steelers.
reason
1-4.
why
Okay,
for
there you go.
me, I'm saying that Lamar isn't a threat is because simply, we're talking playoffs, right? Lamar hasn't performed well in the playoffs. Like it has nothing to do with anything else. It's Lamar hasn't shown he performs well in the playoffs, so I'm not deeming you a threat until you show me you play well in the playoffs. In the regular season, a threat. But I need to see him do it in the playoffs before I can sit here and call him that. So that's why it has nothing else to do with anything. I'm not arguing anything else. It's just in the playoffs. Okay. You don't bring
It
that.
was very disheartening to see Lamar. Like I do think like when people were talking about the game that he lost to the Chiefs last year, it was as though he did enough to win. Like there were moments again, Zay Flower fumble, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff. Lamar was missing passes. It didn't feel as though he was in control of the game. Throughout the
You're talking
entire
about-
season, Lamar
You're talking
had-
about
I was
talking about
Sunday?
the AFC
talking
Championship.
about last year.
Are you talking about? See,
You
It
talking
all
about?
blends.
I would attribute more. I would
That's
attribute
crazy.
that
But
loss.
any
That
but
was
every
I didn't
quarterback
even
has
think
games like
Right,
that.
but I would attribute that loss more to Monken because of the game plan that they had going into that game.
that's fair.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
mean, like, what did we say with Josh Allen? Is you can't expect Josh Allen to throw the ball 40 times in a
every
game
game and win every game. Like
and win.
yeah. Like
Yes.
there's going to have to be some games where
Like you need
the
some running game.
So
run aspect or the defense
so
helps out.
so what happened to the Ravens yesterday?
You know, the one thing that I'm seeing about them, I mean, I know they're still at the top of the top of the totem pole in the AFC. I get it, but man, missed opportunities for this team, and it's scattered throughout the season. You go back to week one, season opener at Kansas City. You got the ball inside the 5, and you missed 2 wide open receivers to possibly win the game. You
On the
go,
same play.
yeah, you go back a few weeks ago at Cleveland. The amount of missed throws that Lamar missed in that game, the amount of missed opportunities that offense missed in that game, and then you go to yesterday, where it's like, man, you got Zay Flowers wide open at midfield. The ball hits him in the face mask, and he drops it. It's like this team, as good as they are, I definitely think they missed a number of opportunities this year.
It's weird because they also had like the ultimate get back with Justin Tucker, and
Mhm.
Justin Tucker's not
That
him
too.
anymore.
That
Like
too. Yeah.
you were able to overcome certain things and just all right, we down to a minute and a half left. Let's just get in field goal range. Justin Tucker will save us.
Right.
You don't have that threat anymore.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals.
Mhm.
He lost by 2 points. So like when you lose that special teams element, which is something that the Steelers do very well. Like, even last week versus the Commanders, they should have caught that 4th down where homeboy dropped earlier in the you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I don't know how to describe it. But like the Steelers have always made impact in those moments on special teams. It's another phase of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Ravens had that on lock with Justin Tucker, and that's not there no more.
I feel like the Ravens have had, out of the 4 losses they've had, there've been 2 of them where it's like the same type of loss. When they play the Chiefs, it's like, okay, you lose by a touchdown, but it's just like your offense missed so many opportunities in that game to where you only scored 10 what was it?
I think they had 16 yesterday.
I'm trying to think, against it was like 27-20 against the
I
Chiefs.
think it was a
Yeah, so
one touchdown game.
27-20
It was a
against the
one-score game.
Chiefs. One score game, and you're just like, dog, like offense just didn't do enough. Obviously, like the defense, they were so in the beginning, but kind of came on stronger in the end. But it's like we always think the offense didn't do enough. Okay, against the Browns, we were like, yeah, the offense missed opportunities, but we put that more on the defense,
Right.
because there's no way you let. There's no way, yeah, because there's no way you let Jameis Winston throw for 300 yards in the game-winning touchdown.
Well, yeah.
You just like, especially when you drop 2 interceptions, one of them that could have just sealed the game.
The defense definitely.
So you're like, to me, I put that more on the defense, let them down
That's fair.
game.
That's fair.
Then against the Raiders, I also put that the defense let them down in that game, because you let Gardner Minshew and Devontae go crazy in the 4th quarter, and you lose that one. So it's like, and then obviously, like, last night, lose to the Steelers, I think that was more of an offensive game where like the offense didn't do enough.
Defense didn't allow a touchdown.
Yeah, so I'm just like, they've been losing
Which-
games differently, but it's like the same questions, because there's cause for concern with the offense against certain teams, and there's cause for concern for the defense against most teams. So you just don't really know what Ravens you're gonna get.
To your point, real quick, and I'm gonna let you go, Cordell. I don't know how often that's going to happen this year for this defense. The way that they've looked all year, and they had a game where they didn't give up an offensive touchdown.
It's definitely style of play.
Yeah, like I like those particular games we might not see again for the rest of the year.
Because you got to think, they did that against the.
Right.
Sorry, Cordell, but they did this against the Bills, where the defense was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was also at a time where the Bills didn't have an offensive target on the receiving core.
Yeah, they were still trying to
so
find
they were
themselves.
able to play a certain type of way. And I think with the Steelers, they were able to play a certain type of way. Not because George Pickens isn't good, but it's more because they know that the offense, they were like, okay, we know how to play against this offense that likes to run the ball and then take deep shots, rather than us having to fend off these deep shots all the time.
Fair.
So it's just a different type of way to play that the Ravens have been good, but if they get you in certain matchups, especially on the inside, where they're able to take away like the linebacking coverage from like Roquan Smith or any of the safeties, like Good luck. Cordell?
We gotta stop this. Blame everybody besides Lamar Jackson for a loss.
What did I just say?
But
We gotta stop it.
What did I say?
Against the Raiders, you blaming the defense. Lamar didn't have some spectacular game to help anybody out himself. He had 247 yards passing with 1 tutty, 1 interception.
Told you.
The offense only put up 2 touchdowns against the Raiders.
hold on.
Against the Raiders. The offense only put up 2 touchdowns against the Raiders.
So what you're saying is, hold on. So what you're saying is every game where a quarterback only has or offense only has 2 touchdowns, they're supposed to lose that game.
I'm saying that he's not without blame. I'm not about to sit here and just say he's innocent from blame.
No. But that game, you're more
Which
focused
game?
on the defense.
Against the Steelers.
Against the I don't have the Steelers one.
Okay, whenever you
Hold
pull
up.
it up. Go ahead, Queese.
No, that game you're more focused on the defense based off of the remember they got the onside kick in that game, and that's how they were able to score those back-to-back touchdowns to even get back into the game. So it's like
46.
that's a game where the Ravens offense was barely on the field in the second half because the Raiders had time of possession. So that's why I blame more of the defense because of the fact that the defense couldn't get a stop in the second half.
But my whole thing is if you know, right? Come on, top 5 quarterback. He got a cake.
Told you.
If you know,
Told
I'm
you.
holding him to the same standard. I'm acknowledging his greatness and then holding him to it. So I don't know how you're telling me. I'm acknowledging. You have a limited amount of opportunities because your defense is out there. And so when you're out there, if they're dominating time of possession, that also means that you're not sustaining drives.
Not
Those 2
necessarily.
things
I mean,
yes, because that means you're not if you're sustaining drives, then that will balance out. But if they are dominating time possession, that means you're going on the field and getting off quick, and then they're going on another long drive. If you're going on a long drive, then it will balance out. So you're still not holding your end of the bargain in the second half, which is why I'm just instead of in that game, I would say both sides. I'm blaming both sides.
but how many opportunities?
That's what I'm
hold
saying.
on. But how many?
Yes,
Hold
I'm
on.
blaming both
But how many?
sides.
I think he only had.
That's how I feel.
I think in that, especially in that fourth quarter, I think they only had one drive, like one opportunity, and it was a 3 and out. But you only have one opportunity. Like you expect your defense to at least do something, and they didn't do anything.
So you're putting it more on the defense than the fact that they went 3 and out?
3 and out. So you didn't do anything either.
No. Bro, you have one opportunity, right? The defense had
Do not miss your chance to blow.
But the defense had multiple chances to make a stop and they didn't. So I'm blaming it more on the defense because I'm like, okay, cool. Your offense had one opportunity, you didn't get it done, but the defense had multiple opportunities and they didn't get one stop. Put more on the defense. Because that just means that okay, we can never have a 3 and out.
I feel like
That's not what that means.
No.
But at the same time, when we're talking about placing blame and what again,
more on the defense.
Lamar is the MVP favorite right now. And
no, he's not.
He is.
He's not anymore.
No.
It's Josh.
He was.
He was. I'm sorry.
Josh
Lamar was the MVP
at that
favorite.
time.
At that time, he was the MVP favorite.
Yeah.
Is Josh now?
It's Josh now. Yeah.
That is one prediction I picked Josh Allen to.
Yeah, we'll get to all MVP talk.
With Lamar, with what we expect from him and what we've been talking about with how he's been able to see the field and what throws he's been able to make and how he's been able to get everybody going when like how he's continuing to get better somehow, even though he's winning the MVP seasons. You would expect again that he would get a little more slander for going 3 and out in situations like that.
1 3 and out, and you're like,
dog, I've seen people
What
get
about in
slandered
third
for
quarter?
missing one pass.
bro. This
So
is
what are we talking about?
No, this is not
That
the
is fair.
same. This is not the same. And I told you that in the
You're still missing one pass.
No, because I just told him for the Steelers game, I blame that more on Lamar because at the end of the day, you didn't get a 2-point
You blame
conversion.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah, I
He
blame.
absolutely deserved that blame.
No,
Justin
but,
Tucker's the reason why the Ravens lost that
Not the
game.
reason, but I'm like,
So who gets the blame? You're putting the blame.
I put it
Majority
on
of the
Lamar
blame.
Jackson.
I'm putting.
No, you got to put the blame on Lamar.
Yes, I put it on Lamar,
I'm
but I'm saying,
putting it
but
on
the Raiders game, I do not put on Lamar Jackson.
I'm putting
If
it.
you're
on,
able to
on the
score
offense as a
20
whole.
something points, and the defense just gives up in the fourth quarter, I'm not putting that more on you at that point.
I'm
for
putting
that
it
game.
in my opinion. I'm putting it on the offense as a whole because yes, Lamar could have been better yesterday. So could Justin Tucker. Let's not forget the fact that Derrick Henry fumbled the ball on the first drive of the game. Like that was
he did.
like
Uncharacteristic.
You're getting off to a bad start. Not to mention, Justice Hill had the ball stolen from him on an interception.
Perfect pass
Like,
too.
this entire offense, they relinquished that yesterday.
In
So
Lamar's
everybody
defense,
gets it, in my opinion.
all of his interceptions that he has had this year,
He's only had
were-
3.
and none of them were his fault. None of them, not one.
25-3.
All of them
only has
touched his
3 picks all
receiver's
year.
hands at
Yes.
one point in time before it got intercepted. This one was the closest one to not, or
He
I
does
guess
have
to being
fumbles
involved.
though. We're not gonna act like he
For
doesn't
sure,
have
I said
turnovers.
interceptions. I
Yes.
said interceptions. All 3 of them weren't.
But
his
how many
fault.
fumbles has he
Turnovers.
lost?
Why'd you go say 2?
Yeah, I'm
No, I
about
know
to say.
2 for sure. I just haven't been keeping
Okay,
up
so
since the 2.
okay, so
But I know 2 for sure.
let's just
Did he
say
have 2 against y'all?
No, he
Right.
had 1 against us, and he had 1. He was the first fumble of the season.
yeah against.
That's how come I remember. I know 2 for sure.
Okay, so even if he had that's 5 turnovers, are we
my
really going?
These ain't fumble loss, is it?
Yeah.
This can't be fumble loss.
What?
This hold on.
Oh my god.
This let me
Is it that bad?
Yeah, clearly. If
bro, it's
That's 6.
6. 6 fumbles.
okay.
How many lost?
You can't see on that stat page.
Nah.
I feel as though whenever
really
you're
please.
looking
I'm working
at
on it.
quarterbacks, the quarterback, he touches the ball every possession.
Uh-huh.
You have someone like Lamar who is a weapon,
Uh-huh.
who has been able to do what he wanted to do
Uh-huh.
throughout the course of this season.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, with Lamar, it be the same issues that will pop up. It will be turnovers in inopportune times. It will be stalled drives. It was the same thing that we saw last
But
year
he didn't
in
have
games
any.
like the Colts.
He didn't have any against the Raiders.
Again, I mean, when
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know when that interception was. That game was. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it looks
remember
like
what
6
happened in that
fumbles
game.
lost.
6 fumbles lost. Damn.
Mhm. So you add that with the interceptions, and we're at a total of
9.
9 turnovers.
Mahomes
not
still has more.
Yeah.
Mahomes does have more.
That's not bad.
Shout out to Seaman.
But all I'm saying is with Lamar, in terms of going forward in big picture, in the playoffs, it's going to be games like that where, like, okay, your defense is holding people to field goals, go score a touchdown. And
I mean,
Lamar,
is it gonna be like that this year? I don't think so.
What?
I
we
just
didn't think so last year, but it ended up like that. It's the playoffs.
Nah, we did think that last year because their defense was A1. This
Oh,
year,
you're talking about with the Ravens defense stopping folks.
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I'm like, I don't think that this year.
Oh no,
So-
their defense gonna get cooked.
Yeah, that's
So
what
they
I'm
need to
like.
score
That's
touchdowns.
how
So
I feel in
he
the
has
playoffs.
like he
Depends on
has
who they
to.
play.
Which is tough.
depends on who they play.
It's tough.
I think that
You know what?
Because
if I
there's
look at
only
the
2 people to
standings
lean
right
on.
now,
Depends on who
Yeah,
they play.
actually, I will say that because if
if they play if I
Do
feel like
we expect Bo Nix to dice him up for 300 yards?
no, so he didn't do
Right.
that. He didn't do it the last time.
I think
Exactly.
I think the Chiefs could dice up their defense.
course.
I think the Bills now could dice up
Of
their
course.
defense. I think the Texans can dice up their defense with Nico and Tank back. With Nico back,
We'll
those two
see that
together.
in a month. We'll see in a month.
Oh, they haven't played each other
They
yet.
play on Christmas Day.
Okay,
We'll see
so
that.
yeah, we'll see that test. And if I keep
Yeah,
saying that
none
if
of
the
the wild-
Bengals get
none-
in there and face the Ravens, it's over. Just put an L next to the
but they
Ravens.
wouldn't.
Hey man,
What do you mean? Well, it all depends. It depends.
Hey, man.
Well, they
Hey,
wouldn't
no
because
sympathy.
it would because at this point the Ravens need
If the Ravens can still win the division,
are they still?
they
Are
could,
they?
but the
the
Chiefs
Bengals?
have to drop and they can't
Are the
drop.
Bengals mathematically eliminated?
Nope.
Well, doggone it, they still got a pulse. Let's do it.
Hey,
I believe in you, Joe. Unlike these fools, I believe in you.
here are the people.
It's not that I don't
I'll tell you
believe in
who
Joe.
I think is. I think the AFC East is done. Everybody besides the Bills, they're gone.
Honestly, that division
I
was.
think
cooked.
that's it.
okay.
Honestly, that
Right?
no.
I think
division.
I think the Colts
The
and
moment Tua
Bengals
went,
have a chance.
I think the Bengals don't have a chance.
the moment Tua went down, that division was cooked.
Because
Which I-
like the thing about it with the Bengals is the fact that they still have a hard schedule, and I can't see them going undefeated down the stretch
I can.
with this defense.
I can.
Now
This was-
let me
I believe in the
hold on
vision.
real quick. Let me
You're
flip it.
ridiculous.
Let me flip it.
All right, Chiefs.
Continuing our how it started, how it's going. I'm gonna come back to them.
Yeah.
We're doing the NFC now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to flip it over there. Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh, love this for us.
So
Shut up.
Man, we have to do
NFC
a lot of
North.
backtracking with your ass. Go
NFC
ahead.
North. I
Watch
had
your language.
Lions
Oh, my
Packers.
bad. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had Lions
Lions
winning the division.
Lions.
Yep.
Lions.
Yeah.
Lions. NFC East. I had Eagles.
Eagles.
I also had the Eagles.
Eagles.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. NFC West. We all have the 49ers.
Yeah, we all had
Yes.
Niners.
Oh, that one ain't looking too good
I
right
was
now.
trying to. It was like I was trying to convince myself to not pick them, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
It
it was hard.
It sounded too good.
They made playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep, and we'll talk about it.
And this is before we knew that McCaffrey was gonna be out.
Right.
NFC South,
Falcons.
we all had the Falcons.
Them raggedy behind Falcons.
All right, and the Falcons
They
are
raggedy
right.
now?
All right.
Nah, they raggedy
Oh,
right
I
now.
thought only the
Wild
Commanders were
card.
raggedy. That's crazy.
Hey, listen.
All right.
I had
Watch
I
your
had
tone. Our record is better.
Cowboys.
Go ahead, Cordell.
I had Cowboys, Packers, Rams.
Cowboys, Packers, Rams.
Cowboys, Packers, Rams.
Did I have the
were
Cowboys making the playoffs?
Oh my
who I
God.
had.
How?
Yeah, I had Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks.
Oh my God. Here it is.
I don't think I put the Cowboys in there.
Another conference where
So you only had one team out the East?
Yeah, I think I had the Bears in there though. I think I had Bears, Rams.
you
It
know
would have to be
and
the Seahawks or the
Packers?
Packers. It was one of them two.
you
I
know
forgot.
I don't like to brag, but coming into the season, trying to tell you guys about the Jets, you didn't want to listen.
Nah, there we go.
I'm trying to tell
You
you guys
did.
about the Cowboys. And you didn't want to listen. Guess who
I mean,
did not
You know
Pick
what's
them.
crazy?
But who did you
to
pick?
make the playoffs?
But who did you pick?
Huh? Exactly.
But who did you pick? Let us know.
Who's sitting there with the Titans with you?
Yeah.
Packers, Seahawks, and
And
the Bears.
Bears.
It's not too bad.
Ah, dang.
It's better.
Bears ain't
Well,
making
he's
nothing.
only got one in, so at least you're not 0-3.
Yeah.
We did better in the NFC than we did
well,
in the AFC.
technically,
Bears ain't making nothing, bro. Stop.
the Seahawks are still.
No, the
Seahawks
Seahawks.
lie.
Seahawks are
Yeah,
alive.
So far, they're
Yeah,
They
they're
ain't
they're
good
in
in the division.
game.
So
They in good shape.
okay, so as it is right now, Lions are 1, Eagles are 2, Cardinals are 3, Falcons are 4. Those are your division champs. Wild card teams: Vikings 5, Packers 6, Commanders 7.
Do we need to have
Wow.
a NFC South team this year? We can just.
That's how I felt last year. This year, no, there needs to be one.
No.
To me, the biggest surprise is the Cardinals.
For sure.
I am
For sure, the Cardinals are the biggest surprise.
like, wow.
Well, actually, you know
Coming out of
what?
the
No,
NFC South?
Commanders.
No.
I'm gonna say Commanders.
These
No,
jumpers.
Second biggest surprise.
No.
I mean,
The Cardinals
them-
are winning the division.
they're
right
winning
now.
the division, so that's why it's the biggest surprise to me.
They
But
can still win.
Hold
the
on.
division.
They're winning the division, but the Commanders definitely beat them 42-14.
Yeah.
So
the Commanders beat them.
I didn't say I'm just in the conversation of which team's better. I said who's a surprise to me coming into
no,
this year.
the
They were supposed to be
Commanders.
4.
No, the Commanders are surprising because to me, they are the better team that I never expected that they could be this good.
It's crazy.
But so the Cardinals are the worst team that you didn't expect to even be good at all.
That part.
And here
No,
they
they're not
are.
the worst team.
We had a bunch of question marks. It wasn't as though we knew that we were bad. That was what I was trying to convince y'all this entire time throughout the offseason. When he was over here boo-booing on, oh, Bobby Wagner, oh, Frankie Louvu, he not doing nothing. The linebacker leading sack.
Hold on, let's
Hold on.
backtrack though, because I definitely said y'all was gonna go 8 and 9. So I
You
had y'all,
sucker.
I had y'all as respectable.
That was until
But
you,
right now,
that was until you
you're
ran
hold
into
on.
Saquon.
But right now, you're a team that
You
can
said
win
we was gonna
11
win-
games.
How many games? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You can win 11 games. I would have never thought in year one, Dan Quinn would have y'all winning 11 games.
That's all he
I
gonna
thought
do.
at best it was like
That's why I'm like
That's all he gonna
for
do.
me, but the Commanders, y'all are a team that, bro, y'all could make some noise in the playoffs just because of what
You still
Dan
pumping the
Quinn has
brakes?
done.
How much more do you need to see?
I think it's the Cardinals because
I mean,
there's no way
trust Dan Quinn.
they were supposed to be 4. Like at
Also,
least
it's personal.
The Giants suck.
we thought we thought that the Commanders would at least be 3. Now they're 2.
Okay,
I have a team that went from 4 to 1.
okay. Well, here's
That's going to surprise me any day.
Here's-
That you went from
here's
4
the
to
better-
1
here's
with
the better-
in a division with the Rams, the
here's
Seahawks.
the better
the
question.
Niners.
Yeah,
Here's the
hold
better-
on. A division that's went through how many injuries?
Here's the
Like,
better question, and I'm gonna
The
pose to you
Rams'
guys.
whole offensive line was
Hold
injured at a point
Okay,
with the
but if
receivers
Dak
are
doesn't
gone.
get hurt, then maybe they're not in the playoffs.
Nah, but they was better.
We was gonna
It
be
was already better.
You don't
than
know
without
that.
that.
Yes, we
I said,
do,
no,
bro.
we don't.
Yes, we
We
do.
do
We
not
did
know.
that.
We do, but the
here's the
Cowboys
better-
suck.
Here's the better question to pose: do we trust the Cardinals to seal the deal here?
Yes.
Because they're in position to win this thing.
Yep.
Do we trust them to truly win this division and bring it home?
I do.
What makes you trust them?
I trust them because I think.
don't.
Well, here's the reason why I trust them, because I think Kyler has been playing better.
He has.
And I think that it's not one of those things where we're like, Oh, the Cardinals always flame out in the second half of the season. Well, that's because Cliff Kingsbury always flamed out in the second half of the season. But it's a different coach, different regime, a defensive coach in Rich and Gannon, to where I'm just like I feel like he's going to be a guy that will help keep the ship steady. And I think they have the impact players like James Conner, a good running game with Marvin and them and Trey McBride as the receiving threats. That I'm just like they have a balanced offense that they didn't really
I
have.
was just getting ready to say that I do think James Conner is not given enough credit
Yeah.
for how important he is to that offense.
So you have the Cardinals as well being able to close it out?
Oh man,
And Eric, same question for
that's
you.
tough. That it
No.
is because for me, I know the record. I know the Niners are 5-5, and I get everything that they've gone through so far this season. But they do get a healthy McCaffrey down the stretch, or relatively healthy McCaffrey down the stretch. You know, they still. I mean, but this team has never. They haven't played a game yet where they had all of their important components on offense, and they're not going
They're
to
not
because
there.
Ayuk is out for the year. But then Kittle's hurt now. You get McCaffrey back, but Kittle's missing games. So
So
it's
I'm
like
just not gonna believe it's their year. I just can't.
it's hard for me to say that when all I need to do is see them on the field. Like I feel if they get a win, if they get a certain win, hypothetically, right? Let's just say they play the Dolphins and they wipe the floor with the Dolphins. I can look at that game and say, man, you know what? That might be the game. That might be the
But
game.
the thing is, how long are we gonna be waiting on this game?
I don't. But they're a talented enough team to where they can flip the switch
Nah.
whenever they can.
At this point, I'm done with teams thinking that they're just gonna flip the switch
Even
10
the
games
Chiefs?
in.
The Chiefs have
The
not looked
Chiefs,
like the no.
no, the Chiefs will be the same in the regular season. I don't think there's any flipping of the switch.
No,
Now the
no,
playoffs is
Then they're
different.
gonna flip the switch.
Mahomes
They
has to flip the
hold
switch.
on, no, but I'm saying they did that last season. That's the only reason why I'm giving the benefit of the doubt in the playoffs this season. I don't think it's gonna happen in the regular season.
I mean, to an extent, the Niners did that last year too.
No.
Mid season,
So-
they went on the road in Jacksonville and got that big win, and they went on a winning streak to close out. Like they
Okay,
were.
But the
hold
thing
on.
is, that was only they were
Circle
like
back. 49ers. Before we go on a whole debate again about the Chiefs and
yeah.
Mahomes. 49ers. So I don't even know if I got a yes or no for you guys on if
That's
the
hard,
Cardinals are
man.
closing out this with a win.
That's
with
hard. That's
No.
So who do you have?
So
I have the Rams. I think the Rams gonna go get this.
I think-
Looking at
see,
their schedules and such,
but the
and
thing-
I trust Matthew Stafford with Cooper Kupp and Puka. Like
Puka-
that as a trio
Puka can't stay on the field.
for sure.
Like
I understand.
my
I trust like as currently constructed and having Kyron score in most of the games this year. I don't remember if he scored last. I don't think he scored
Nah, he
on Sunday.
didn't.
So most of the games this
didn't.
year, having a solid running game, having McVay at the helm, having Matthew Stafford who's been there, done that with his weapons, I trust them with this schedule.
I don't trust that defense.
Yeah, I must say, I don't
Okay.
trust the defense, but the thing that kind of got me was the fact that if they would have beaten the Dolphins, then I would have been with you.
Yep.
But they literally played the Dolphins at home and didn't score a touchdown.
And the thing with the
I was
the thing with the
Again,
Seahawks,
I feel like we excuse games like this for other teams. I understand with this particular,
like it's
close.
such a fine margin.
the thing with the
I trust Matthew
Seahawks,
Stafford.
And the thing is, I'm sorry I cut you off. But the thing is, and this is what the Cardinals have in their back pocket that the other NFC West teams don't have, is but they're undefeated in the division.
to me, the thing with
Like if it comes down to tiebreakers, they're gonna probably have.
The Cardinals still have to play the Seahawks twice, though. Go ahead.
the thing with the Seahawks, I don't know who the Seahawks are.
Yeah,
Like
they are.
one game, they're playing the Falcons, and that might have been the best game they played all year.
Mhm.
But then you put them up over the last couple weeks prior to yesterday's win, and it's like they can't get anything going offensively. The defense can give up plays. I don't know who the Seahawks are, and it's almost Thanksgiving.
Like you don't know what version of them is gonna play.
I don't know.
But you can make the same argument about the Cardinals.
You can.
They played the Bills
You very well can,
but then
yeah.
the Commanders blew them out.
Right.
But the Commanders
They
are a
played-
good team.
They played the Lions well,
Mm-hmm.
right? They beat the 49ers unhealthy. Played the Chargers well, beat them by 2. But then
So-
Like they actually have good wins on the resume.
So-
They beat the Rams 41-2.
So my question
Packers blew them out though.
So you got the
See?
Rams.
they only lose the good
I,
teams.
I have to say the Niners.
You're
I
saying the
have to.
Niners. You're saying the
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
That schedule?
Until they're eliminated. until they're eliminated.
Alright, so
The Niners are a game back, and they got the Packers,
Until
Bills, their next 2
all right,
games.
so
Are the
here's my
49ers winning
question.
either of them games?
All right,
All
wait,
right,
hold
hold
on.
on.
they could.
If the 49ers miss,
Mm. Oh my God, I don't even want.
what's that say about Purdy?
Oh, here he go.
That,
Oh my
like
God.
most
Are
quarterbacks,
we back
No,
to square
no,
one with the
no,
49ers
no. This is
needing a
No.
If they
quarterback?
if they miss the playoffs, this is bigger than Purdy. This is we may have to reset this thing. If they miss the playoffs, it's not on Purdy. You're not putting it on
but
Purdy.
let's focus on Purdy for now. Because with Purdy, where his thing,
Why?
because
When he
there,
hasn't been
no,
the
no, no,
big-
no, no. Let me tell you why. When you plug in a quarterback to Kyle Shanahan's offense with all of those weapons, it's successful.
When
That's what
when
it
has he
takes.
had all those
Now,
weapons
granted,
together?
now hold on.
I
With
think
Brock
that's a
Purdy,
good thing.
what Brock Purdy's claim to fame was when he was in the offense. When you compare it to Jimmy G or whatever other quarterback you put in there, he had more depth with targets. He was able to hit the intermediate routes, the timing, everything. It looked good. It looked crisp,
Right.
right? But as soon as he didn't have an Ayuk or a McCaffrey or a Trent Williams,
That's important,
okay,
is it not?
for sure. With most quarterbacks, we're saying Purdy is like the rest of them. He's just like the Tuas. He's just like he's in that tier of quarterback.
He
He's
is?
The
not.
middle.
He's in.
Two,
Yeah,
he's a tier
that's
two.
all. There's nothing wrong with that.
He's a tier
He's
two
not
quarterback.
elevating
He's in
talent.
the
He's not the one
12
who's
not
bringing.
elevating.
12
No,
to
he's not.
17.
That's all.
He's not elevating talent.
He's in that 12 to
But my
17
thing
months.
is if
But
we
is
say
that
every
good enough? That's why I said, do we need to
for
look?
these circumstances, no, it's not. And the thing is, we say it every year after year after year. You put him into an offense with that many weapons, he's going to look a certain way. Well, this is the one season where he didn't collectively have all those weapons.
Right.
He missed McCaffrey for most of the season, except the last 2 games. You had Debo. Debo's in and out. Ayuk is on the field, but
Yes.
Ayuk mine is not. Ayuk was just. I don't think his focus was on football at all this year. The way he looked, even when he got his money and was on the field, like he still didn't look it. Now Kittle's hurt. Like he hasn't had a full collect. It even got to a point where they're going to their 4th string running back. Like
Right,
they
but-
can't keep body health.
But here's my thing: if you don't have a
Garoppolo
quarterback
was
who
still
can,
effective though when he was in.
if you don't have a
He ain't no sense.
if you don't have a quarterback who you think is a top 10,
Who said Purdy was top 10?
Last year,
No, he definitely had
He
claims to
definitely-
being top 10.
yes, that was an
Because
argument that we
but
were
think
in.
about it, he
For
was in
sure.
the
We
in
were
the
in an
MVP
argument.
conversation. If he won the
you
MVP,
spearheading the argument.
yeah, I'm
You
about to say,
were.
if he won the MVP,
Spearheaded for the MVP. I never said he was top 10.
no, but if you win the MVP,
MVP,
you
you
got to
were
be a
top
top 10
10, yeah.
quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, bro.
You finished
There's
the
no
year
way.
top 10. There's no way.
Like what quarterback that won the MVP wasn't in the top
top
10?
10. You have to be. So, but with that,
Well,
because I'm looking at it and we're looking at the future, and I'm like, okay, I feel like the question is answered. Purdy's not that type of guy. All right, so now I have to ask the question. The Lions are what the Lions are, and
Best team in the
they're
league.
going to be this way for the foreseeable future past this season,
They're the best team in the
right?
league.
Because everybody's young.
Jared Goff
Yes.
top 5.
So the Lions
So
are
what
what the
you-
Lions are. The Eagles, again, another
that
team.
argument has aged well.
The Eagles, another team, seems like they're going to be around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have the emergence of Kyler and this offense. We're going to say, okay, they may be even better next year. Marvin Harrison in second year too, they could be a better team next year. And then we have the Packers, who are all young, and now we have Jaden Daniels and the Commanders coming up. And now I'm like, 49ers, if you don't get it done this year, okay, we have all of these teams that are all young. The only team that's old is the Rams.
Forget about it.
Because as soon as the Vikings go
Y'all
to
have a place. Y'all have a plan. I got young
I was
weapons.
going to say, don't forget about Penix.
as soon as the
For sure.
Vikings go to
McCarthy.
McCarthy, right? And I mean, I don't know if you're 2 years away. That's why I didn't bring you up. I don't know what the plan is for when Penix gets out there.
Okay, that's fair.
So, but next year we have McCarthy come out, and if McCarthy is actually any good, now we have another all young team. So I'm like,
And
this is going to be a sustained problem. So what do we do if we don't win it this year?
And to win the city as well.
And if he turns out to be who everybody thinks he's going to be, so
You talking about for the Niners? What,
yes, but Niners, if you don't win it this year, what does this look like for Purdy in the future?
I was serious when I said, well, it's not just him. I think I'm looking at the bigger picture.
Well, if you're
looking
blowing
at
it up,
Purdy.
that means Purdy's got to go too,
For
right?
sure. Because you have to
This
pay
is
him.
what I'm asking.
Well, yeah, I'm not
getting a new quarterback.
certain that they I mean, I say that
'Cause
they
you're
need
not
to
going to be
consider
good enough to get a new
right.
quarterback.
I'm not.
You
I'm
just
not.
trade. You
I'm
can trade a lot of pieces away to get
You
him.
can, but I think
Purdy could be a
No.
piece.
I say that they need
How
to
you got to sign
consider
him?
that they need to consider possibly.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Does he out of this is last year?
Yeah.
I didn't know that he's in his contract year.
I mean, he can get
Yes.
tagged.
They
So
can
now
tag.
my
Yeah.
next question is, do you resign?
He'll get tagged.
Well, go ahead.
He'll get tagged. I'm not worried. I always felt like they're not going to pay Purdy for 2 years anyway because they had that tag in their back pocket. He's probably not going to get anything next year. But
Is
my
that-
but
go ahead.
my
Go
thing is, I know I threw out there, thinking about the possibility of blowing this thing up, but that's harder than it actually is, given the amount of money that they have tied into some of those players on that team. Like
That's when it gets tough.
yeah, moving those contracts, I think, are going to be harder than you think. So this may be a situation where they have no choice but to kind of sort of push this thing out for another year or two, maybe.
If they blow it up, does that mean Shanahan's gone?
No.
No,
No.
no.
So you let him blow it up and restart.
Let him-
If this is
him and
2
John
years down
Lynch.
the
Like once you have a good
if
coach and
this is
good
2 years
GM,
down the line, he's got to go.
he's
No.
worth firing.
If you're talking about 2 years down the line, we're blowing it up, then yes. In 2 years,
no.
I'd be like, yeah,
But
it
what-
may be time for a new voice.
Why would you
2 years?
get
Not
rid
now.
of? But why
But
would
if
you
you're talking
get
about 2
rid
years
of
down
a?
the line and we're still having this
Why would you get
conversation?
rid-
Yeah, why would you get rid of a good coach?
Should the Bills move on
sometimes
from
you need
McDermott?
sometimes you need a new voice. McDermott hasn't missed the playoffs.
Well, he ain't.
This is what I'm saying.
But he
I'm
also
saying
ain't made the
this is-
Super Bowl either. But I
Yes,
mean, it's
but
like,
if you're
We're speaking
talking,
of hypotheticals.
if you're talking about 2 years down the line, if they don't make the playoffs this year and they don't make it the next 2 years, you're not
you're
saying
speaking on that.
yeah, because you said 2 years down the line blowing it up. I'm going off of what you said. You said maybe they have to push it 2 years.
Well, yeah,
But he's
asking.
not saying that they're missing the playoffs in all those years.
not
He's
all
just
those
saying-
years. No, I said if they miss it this year, I said like, man, they should look at this roster and say, okay, we need to make some adjustments. We need to consider blowing some things up. Now, that also doesn't mean that in 2025 they're a non-playoff team. I think in 2025, if they still got all their guys back, they're still a threat. But you
Yeah.
have to start considering at that point because
Like some guys just gotta
like,
go.
Debo's 30, right? 29,
But
30?
but that's the thing though. His guarantees are up after
28,
after
right.
next season.
Trent Williams is
Debo
what,
after
28,
this season,
he's
I
like
think.
36,
37?
37.
Like these guys are not. Kittle's 30.
See,
Debo
28.
28.
He played like a 30-year-old receiver. No, he does. You know he does.
but
plays a physical
the only
brand of
thing is,
football.
like
Remember
they have locked in. 'Cause remember, they gave Trent Williams that extended
They
contract.
did. Yep.
So it's
They
like
paid
they gotta keep him or that dead
you
money.
can trade these pieces.
No, because the dead money from the signing bonus that you
Mhm.
gave him that would be
you
on your.
you eat that for a year or two and you move
Nah,
on.
I-
We see teams doing it. Look
yeah,
at the Broncos.
but
They are eating a whole lot of money, and look at them now.
Yeah, but they got rid of everybody in order to eat it.
Yes, well, that comes with blowing up. You're blowing up the team, right? So you go and get rid of. And
okay, hold on. You're saying look at the Broncos, but we don't see the Broncos as being a threat. Yeah, they're fine in the
they're
playoffs.
on their path. They're rebuilding, and they're successfully rebuilding, and that's what we're talking about here with the 49ers. Blow it up and rebuild. You don't blow
But
it up
can
and come
can
back
you
the next
see
year.
the Broncos as a team that's going to be competing for Super Bowls? Because I don't.
In the future,
Yeah.
I mean, if they continue to draft in free agency, and Bo Nix continues developing,
People
I
want to
don't
go play with good
I don't
quarterbacks.
see why.
They haven't done well in free agency. What they have right now is
but
predicated
what
on
he's
contract.
asking, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you have to hit on one or the other. You either have to hit in free agency, you got to hit in the draft.
Okay, yeah.
So as long as they hit in one of those areas, and Bo Nix continues to develop, yeah, they can be competing.
But you could also say, like, again, when you look at the Commanders, everything switched after 1 year. It's not as though if you have certain pieces in place for the Broncos and players see what it's hitting for, they see even like little advantages like the weather and like, you know what I'm saying, Denver and playing in that type of thing. Like, it's not as though the situation is not going to be able to change and the vibe can't change after just a year. We've seen it happen with the Texans the year before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can happen just like that.
But to
new
me,
coach,
but I
new
think
quarterback.
I think those are examples of like I don't think you can really bank on that.
You
like
can't bank
how
on it.
often does that happen for the Texans and the Commanders to literally have a turnaround in 1 year?
We saw
Like,
the Bengals do it too. We seen them.
No, the Bengals didn't do it in
it took
like,
them a couple years to get everything.
No, but
Burrow
Burrow
got
tore his
hurt.
ACL.
in
yeah,
the-
but
they
they
still
weren't
had
they
T.
weren't making the playoffs or anything. In
Yeah,
that
but they
first
still
year.
had T.
To the Super Bowl the next year, did they not?
No, but
if Burrow's
what
there
we're
his
saying
rookie
is like
year,
it didn't turn over on his rookie year.
on his rookie year, like year one,
But
Like
year
they
one,
still needed
no,
to
that is
add.
for sure. I see what y'all
but
saying.
year
I see what y'all
one
saying.
it turned around for CJ and the Texans. Year one for Jaden, it turned around. I
I think it
don't think
would
you
have
could
been
really
that way for the Bengals if Joe didn't get hurt. That's what
Nah,
I'm trying to
because
say.
year
they
one
didn't
we
start
didn't
off
get
that way.
we're like a 5-win team that year.
Yeah, no,
We were
they had
bad.
like 3 wins when he
Without
got hurt, I
Burrow.
think. No. I think
No,
Burrow got hurt like
before
week
he got hurt,
10,
they were
11.
already
Yeah,
I think.
they were already terrible
they were below 500 when he got hurt.
when he
I see
got
what y'all
hurt.
saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
They were
had one.
probably like 3-5 or 3-6.
They
So it's
it
like
might have been worse than that,
My
but they
thing
were
is, we're watching a time where like all the guards and such, like when we're watching the Lions have their come up and players want to go
they
play
were
for Dan Campbell.
they were two. Wait a minute,
We have
he
the
got
Texans.
hurt.
Players want to go play
Philly
with
game,
CJ
right?
Stroud under D'Amico Ryans. Players want to come to the Commanders and play with Jaden Daniels. Like we're seeing teams who haven't,
They were
in the most recent history,
the
been teams that
the
are
the
desirable.
Bengals were 2-7-1 when he got hurt.
Sounds
Okay.
about right.
Yeah, they were not good.
Okay.
So I just don't think and again I just don't want teams, and I'm pretty sure somebody's going to look at it that way. They're going to look at it through a certain scope. I just don't want teams to sit here and think like, oh, we can turn things around in a year. Like that
It's
is
not realistic.
it's not. It really isn't. Like the Texans and the Commanders caught lightning in a bottle. Let's just be real. No, it
Yeah,
takes it
no.
takes a little luck to turn it around in year one.
But you have to think about all of the pieces. Where when you look at what needs to change for a team to be good or be, I guess, competing for whatever.
Bro, you're talking about
I mean,
you're talking about new GM, new coach, new OC, new quarterback, new this, new that. Like if everything's new from top to bottom, like
it all has to hit.
it all has to hit right.
Think about the Bears. We thought the Bears, with all the talent that they had.
Speak for
Hold
yourself.
on, hold on.
Speak for yourself.
Hold on. With all the talent that they infused,
I got you.
plus the fact that what they did last year, you thought they would be a better team. But now we're looking at the product and we're like, dog, like
We're
not everything hit like we thought it was.
We didn't look at the
other
right
than
thing.
Cordell.
Thank
We
you.
didn't look at the right thing. I was gonna say the Bears organizationally, they didn't change anything at the top. The Commanders went and got someone who has taken a 2-14 team and rebuilt them to someone who went to the Super Bowl. We have that guy, Adam Peters, as our GM now, and the whole organization changed after that. Got rid of Dan Snyder, plugged that in there, boom. The Bears,
Took you long enough.
The Bears still had. Oh, thank you, Cordell. Still got the same GM, still got the same head coach.
Yeah, but we thought that they made the moves necessary in the offseason.
For that quick turnaround.
Hold
Right?
on. As we're talking about this, then great way to segue. We talked about the most surprising team. Was the most disappointing?
I mean, after the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm about to say the
I'm not
Cowboys
gonna-
are. Cowboys are
the
the most.
injury. I'm just
not
like,
No, because they were bad before the
I'm
injury.
not disappointed. Like
he's
Oh,
not
okay.
I think they still have been fighting for a wild card.
There's no way.
Like, oh, like
Fight for a wild card
I was trying to tell
with
you
what?
guys. You guys didn't want to listen to me.
With what?
Cowboys.
You thought they were?
First of all,
You thought
think about it right now. Right
Well, you
now,
thought they were
the
having a record.
Rams are 5-5 fighting for a wild card.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are 3-6. They're one
The
one
I would
loss
probably say two.
worse.
The Bengals are the most
Two.
disappointing.
No,
That was my next.
they're 5-5.
Well, okay,
One loss worse.
but they got to get the
They
wins.
have to go to their bye.
Yeah, but they got to get the wins.
So they would still be in the hunt.
have to tell you guys.
Oh, but they suck.
They would have still been in the hunt.
Okay. Think about it like
They
this.
still would have been in the hunt
Hold
with Dak.
on. Think about it like this. Do you think that with Dak they would have beat the Eagles?
No.
No.
They could have.
No.
Division games, you know how I feel about them.
But they wasn't
Why
winning.
we keep doing it?
Why do you keep what?
Division games.
Because that happens every year. People lose in the
I
division.
saw the Cowboys blow out the Giants 40-0 in the season opener. Like division games.
Yes, and then you watch the Browns beat the Ravens.
Okay.
For what reason? For why?
Okay.
For why?
Think about it. Think about it. With Dak, would they have beaten the Texans tonight?
No.
You think so? You think they would have been favored?
No.
Favored? No, but I think that they could win. It's a winnable game.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. So not favored against the Texans, would they be favored against the Commanders?
No, but it's
Where?
still it's
It's at Commanders.
No.
No.
Okay, do you think they would have been favored against the Bengals?
And I don't even think if
No.
Yes.
home away wouldn't matter for the
default,
Commanders.
by default.
The Cowboys would have been favored against the Bengals.
Simply because
I
I'm
would I would take them at home.
Favored
Division
though?
games, yes. I'm
Well,
doing.
taking them, I
Okay,
understand,
cool.
but
What about
we
the
still
Bucks?
would be favored. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
You know I don't know nothing about betting.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think they would have been favored. It would have been slight favorites.
Who?
Really?
Cowboys.
Cowboys, yes, they would have
They
been
would
favored
have
against
been
the Bengals.
because they had the Bengals and
Bengals and the Bucks.
He said the Bucks.
Oh,
not
yeah.
yes, they would be slight favorites.
I would have them as favorites for both of those.
Now, what's interesting is the fact that man, it's almost Thanksgiving.
A team
Hold
that
on, hold on,
hadn't
hold on,
won a
hold on, hold on.
game.
I'm giving it a say. It's almost Thanksgiving. The Cowboys have not won a home game yet.
Not one.
They can go
They're the
0-5
only.
tonight.
They're the only
Professional
pro
team.
franchise to not have a home win in 2024.
only
When
one.
is the last time?
And yet you're saying
That's
this
basketball.
team that's still.
That's
Yes.
football.
What other
That's
team would
hockey.
you know what? That's the Cowboys
That's
bias that you
baseball.
don't even know you
That's
know
exactly
got.
what it is. It's the brand.
Yes.
So even
Cause-
even
cause-
so even a
I
winless.
said, guys, I said they'd be in the hunt. That's all I said. Right now,
That's even.
right now the Rams are 5-5.
that's-
Like, could they be in the
no.
hunt?
The answer is the
Could the
Jets.
Cowboys be in the hunt?
The answer is the Jets.
The Jets are
The
not.
Jets are the most
They're
disappointing.
not the most disappointing.
They are the most
Who's the
disappointing.
most disappointing for you?
I'm trying to tell you guys. You
All right, so
But
who's
you
no, stop.
He's playoffs.
he's-
Not
So the
disappointing.
so the Bengals are the most disappointing.
The Bengals are for you.
yes, the
Okay.
Bengals are the most disappointing for me because it was one of those things that I said all year. Like, man, I don't like the way this offseason is going. It's so distracting. And then you saw that in week 1 at home to lose and only put up 10 points to the Patriots at home in the season opener. That was disgusting.
So where's your line between disappointment and expected?
Well, because he expected the Bengals to be great, and then they sucked.
But again,
You
when
can't be
you're talking about
disappointed
But
if
he
you don't
wasn't-
have an expectation on
He
them.
didn't have the Cowboys or Jets in the playoffs. What he's saying
had
is
the
he
Bengals
had the
in there.
Bengals in the playoffs, and they're
They
just as bad.
But again, when you just mentioned them having issues coming into the season, distractions. If you were
But
playing,
so did-
He
so
thought
the
Joe
Cowboys,
Burrow
so did
was
the
going
Jets.
over. Joe Burrow was going to
Did you
wash
thought the
away
season was
all.
over in week 1?
I
When
didn't
they
think it was
lost the
over.
Patriots? Okay, then.
Close.
No,
This is not
that's-
surprising to me.
No, but
But
that's your disappointment. His disappointment is different from your disappointment.
I'm trying.
His disappointment, he had standards and expectations on a Bengals team, and they have fallen short.
I still
He didn't have standards and expectations
I
on.
believe in you, Joe.
He did not have any standards or expectations on the Jets
None
or
at
the
all.
Cowboys, so they can't disappoint him.
Man, I
Anything
saw
from
this
them.
coming. Like
So just like we saw the Titans coming, he saw
hey
this coming.
man, hey, see that?
And you was bragging too much, bro. I'm sorry. I had
No,
to.
he like
do
yin
that,
yang.
man.
But the
Low blow,
difference
bruh.
between the Bengals and
I don't know why
Jets,
you don't
though,
have the Titans as your biggest disappointment. Honestly,
we thought the Jets were going to be
The
bad.
Bengals with a higher seed. Why would I?
they are, but the Bengals still got a chance.
If the Jets were to be bad, we thought it was going to be
Hey
because
man, in this.
they ain't stay healthy.
Who?
That was the Jets. The reason they was like, oh, this old Tyron Smith, he's gonna be healthy. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be healthy. That was,
Yeah,
it was
but-
Yeah,
more,
on
those were
paper,
the
on
questions.
paper they look good,
On paper, they look good.
but they also came in with a lot of the off-season stuff.
They did, which I overlooked
Okay.
on my part. And
In
you was
the-
right. You was all
Hey, look,
on
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers, top 5 quarterback.
not being. I showed. I did say that.
But you had Dak. You had Dak, so you not much better.
I'm
said
surprised
that?
that none of you guys said the Bears, though. I really thought you guys would have said the Bears.
We didn't have him in the playoffs except for him.
I had him as a 7 seed.
Yeah, but you guys y'all thought the world of Caleb. Y'all was talking about
There-
Caleb.
Hold on.
Y'all was talking about how this team
They hit the table.
is supposed to be this, that, and the third.
But it's still missing the playoffs though.
I overlooked the organization.
Like we thought that statistically they'd be fine, but they would still miss the playoffs.
He said that they could be 2,
I
right?
had a 10-7.
10-7. You still think they can go 10-7?
No,
No.
obviously not.
You still,
man,
the
stick-
Bengals didn't win out.
Numerically, they can.
That's Joe. Okay,
That's Caleb.
that's Joe.
Yeah, he
He
ain't
ain't no Joe.
He ain't that.
I thought he was supposed to be.
This is Burrow.
Not
In
no
his
rookie
defense,
year.
Joe has put
With
up
all their weapons?
phenomenal numbers in these
Joe
losses.
has played so good this year, and he's 27 touchdowns and four picks
Joe has 9
It's not good enough.
touchdowns.
and over 3,000 yards.
Joe has
It's not
9
good enough.
touchdowns against the Ravens, both losses. He's had multiple games with 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. I think
Bro.
over 300 yards.
Yeah,
This
Losses.
ain't on Joe.
I mean, this is
No,
what, no.
we're not doing this. You're
No.
giving me all these numbers, but he's had costly turnovers in those same games.
No, not the ones with no interceptions.
Not against the Ravens.
Not the second time he did.
Not the second time. Oh, yes,
the
but
first time he did.
Yes, against the Chiefs, he did.
Okay.
So
That's only-
we're
but that's
bringing
only-
some numbers, but we got to bring that into the. We need to
That's
tell the full story, but also it's still not good
Full
enough.
story.
And with the defense that he has,
part.
the only way you're gonna win is if you have 50 touchdowns.
Never good enough.
You gotta have 50 touchdowns.
Well, but that's why you say it. But that's why it's
We've
a
seen it.
team game.
because
this is
you
why-
have to have Patrick Mahomes MVP year in 2018 in order to
For sure.
to do it.
For sure.
That's what it calls for. You have
Like I just
essentially the
like he
Chiefs
like he,
2018
but I'm
Joe
defense.
Burrow's stat line is
like against the
more
first
MVP than
first game against the Ravens.
Ooh, no.
First game against the Ravens.
27-4.
Oh, bro.
But he had 50 and 8.
But home.
No, 50 and 12 for Mahomes MVP.
I wasn't comparing him to Mahomes.
First game,
I'm saying
like-
if we talking MVP numbers for right now,
Oh, well, he
Yeah,
was
but
talking
I'm
about
saying-
Mahomes MVP.
But I'm
Yeah, that's
first
what-
said.
first game against the Ravens.
Yeah.
First
oh,
game
that
against
he would have.
yeah.
First game against the Ravens, Joe was 30 of 39, 392 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And we're going to point at 1 turnover.
The turnover that it helped decide the game.
No,
In the Raiders game?
The first
but
Ravens.
they still had
Oh,
overtime and
Ravens
stuff.
game.
It
They
wasn't.
still had
It didn't
overtime.
decide
Why
the
did we
game.
go to overtime? Because
Because-
the turnover.
Because Lamar fumbled, didn't he? Lamar fumbled, and
What
Lamar
was it?
almost.
Am I talking?
They
you know
both
what?
had-
Both
they
of them
both
are
had-
No. It was
Both messing me up
It
right
was
now.
Burrow's interception, then Lamar fumble.
Lamar fumble, yeah. They both had a costly turnover late.
Yeah, but Lamar's
The
fumble
two of
was
them
in
are confusing
overtime.
the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamar's fumble was in overtime. The interception sealed it to where they couldn't get a field goal,
Yes.
and then Lamar had the fumble.
The fumble in overtime.
But then they got the 3 and out,
Because they
and then
missed
they
the
missed the
field
field goal. That's like the 3
Yeah.
and out, and then missed the
Yeah.
field goal.
Evan McPherson missed the field goal late. The very next
So-
drive was when Derrick Henry had that big run to put him inside the 10.
So look,
And they
So the
Interception.
interception that leads to the field
field
goal
goal.
that
Yes.
ties the game.
Yes. Okay.
it still goes to overtime. They still had overtime.
But they still
But
had,
it wouldn't.
If he doesn't throw the interception.
okay. But the thing is,
Like,
okay, if
you had a chance to close it.
yeah,
I gotta look at that
he-
because you guys would look at that for any top 5 quarterback. We would look at that
He's not wrong.
for any top 5. We
We
would say
also-
you had a chance to close it and you threw a turnover. You threw a pick.
we
that
also would
cost
say
you to go in
we
OT.
also would say 392 yards and 5 touchdowns is damn good. And you're not gonna get that from anybody outside the top 10. Like
Like,
quarterbacks
I
ain't
think-
producing.
There's no argument that he's a top.
yeah,
We all know
I
this.
think
I'm just telling you my standard. And you had a chance to close it, and you threw a pick.
You would be upset if someone criticized Josh with those types
That's
of numbers.
what they do.
He had a turnover late. Yeah, but you
But
don't.
they do.
But you don't like it though. You don't like it
I
when.
don't, because that's my team. But guess what I'm doing? I'm holding everybody now to the same standard that you're gonna hold my guy to. That's what I'm doing. So if you're gonna hold my guy to it, best believe I'm gonna hold everybody else to it.
Yeah, I mean, look. At the end of the day, like
And that's what we doing.
when the Bengals miss the playoffs, we're not gonna take Joe. And be
not
like,
on-
yeah,
it's not on Joe.
He's not an elite quarterback. But
He-
what
I
we
didn't say
are,
that.
no, I
Came out my
know
mouth.
we didn't say you said
He was
that.
ready to come out me for that.
C-Mac will.
Okay, look.
C-Mac
All
will.
I'm saying is that, like,
Zach
yes,
Wilson
he's
during
still
this
a great
program.
quarterback, but it reminds you that it's still a team game, and you need other aspects to
C-Mac
help.
will. C-Mac will definitely throw Burrow under the bus.
Well,
you know, because there are situational football. Burrow has not been the best. That's all I'll leave it at that. Situational football.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
He's played better than that.
This year?
Situational football is
Not-
a little different.
not in the
no,
fourth quarter.
not in situational football.
not in the fourth
Mahomes
quarter.
has been better in situational football than him, but Burrow's been better overall than Mahomes. It's quite interesting, actually. Mike's ain't that good, bro. So if you're gonna say something, say something.
Might as well. I mean, it's
I'm
tough
not
to talk about a 9-1 quarterback.
All right.
compared
No,
to,
no,
you
you
know,
can talk about a 9-1 quarterback when he's the best in the league and he has 15 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, and he is top 5 in turnovers right there. You can absolutely,
Hey, man.
yes, I can talk about Patrick Mahomes. I will talk about Patrick Mahomes.
So
He's not playing like a Super Bowl winning quarterback right now.
He's not gonna make the Pro Bowl.
Who cares?
you know you love his Pro Bowl.
I don't.
man.
He the only
I'm
one.
a Pro Bowl guy,
He
man.
the only one.
Why?
So, here,
Kirk Cousins was a Pro
best
Bowler.
team in the NFL.
Hey man,
What's wrong with that?
When he was a Viking, he ain't earned it.
He should no.
He ain't earned it.
13-4, and you don't earn it.
Not that one. I was talking about a different season. But that's fair. I should have specified. Go ahead, Cordell.
All right.
There was a year where he was an alternate where he didn't earn it.
Best
Maybe
team in the NFL.
Lions. No question.
Lions.
Lions. I don't care about who they played or who they beat.
But they've beaten good teams.
They've beaten good teams, but they also have multiple wins this year where they've treated teams like they are a FCS team. It's disgusting. What
Yeah,
they did
nah.
in Jacksonville is just rude. Ain't nothing but
Yeah.
bullies. 52-6.
That was tough. That was tough.
The thing about the Lions is they're able to score in whatever manner, whether just straight bully ball, whether it's disrespectful and trickery, throwing the linemen, doing reverse
Bro,
double passes.
they can-
like
they can-
They're
They
efficient
can
with
play
it.
with any style, and that's what made the Chiefs dangerous. When the Chiefs learn how to play your style of football and beat you, That's when they were at a different level. I think that's where the Lions are right now. How many teams you guys know can overcome their quarterback throwing 5 interceptions and still win?
I think that's more of a detriment actually to the Texans.
No, not a whole lot of teams can do that.
That's a detriment to me to the Texans.
No,
like when
bro.
I watched that happen, I said
No.
the Texans should be embarrassed.
No.
The Texans should absolutely be
I
embarrassed.
mean, they
I'm
should
with Cordell
be.
on that one.
No,
They should be embarrassed.
they
horrible.
should be, but
Absolutely
Are the
horrible.
Bills doing it? Could the Bills do it? Can you see a
Hold
game
on,
where
but-
Josh throw 5 picks and you still win?
Depending on the opponent.
no, Josh, because against the Jets
Oh,
last
there
year.
goes Nico.
Oh, my God.
Already?
Oh, man, don't let that come back.
Oh, that's actually tough because I needed that
I
touchdown.
need that touchdown too.
Yeah,
And
Y'all
those
are
yards.
and the yards.
And
yeah.
those yards.
But yeah, depending on the team, sure. But it's still an embarrassment. You should never lose a game where your defense gets you 5 turnovers.
Never.
That's embarrassing.
Never.
Offensively, you failed on every level to have 5 extra opportunities and take away 5 opportunities and lose that
Against
game.
a team that's 6-4.
Larry, is it Tunzel?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't he
When
like
you're-
the most penalized lineman in the league?
So
this
I
year?
need you
Is
to
he?
focus.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Or I need to turn this
I'm
off.
saying parlays, man.
do all that.
Parlays. That was
But like I feel as though when you look at a 6-4 team, like someone who we came into the season talking about, oh, is this the biggest threat to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Mhm.
Like that's how we was holding the Texans. They had offense rookie of the year, defense rookie of the year.
Mhm.
Did Miko win coach of the year too? He should have.
last year.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Somebody
if
else
he
did. I thought that he should have. But the Texans, I absolutely put that more on the Texans. It's the Texans kind of they don't have the same aura that they did with their offense and putting up points.
I
that they
put
did.
that. I put
Even
that more.
with Joe Mixon
I put that
having
more
a
on
great
the
season.
I put that more on the Lions because of the fact, like in games like that, you see teams
So-
just folded in the third quarter. Like
I-
you're benching the starters. You're not even playing those guys anymore. You don't see teams overcome those type of odds, and for them to overcome those odds and win on the road, that's to me it's a different level in my
So,
opinion. That's a different breed of team.
I'm on the fence. I'm like Lions, Bills, Bills, Lions, Bills, Lions, Lions, Bills.
But if they matched up today, I think the
I'm-
Lions
Oh,
would
they
be
playing
favored.
a few weeks.
They play
They
in
do.
3 weeks.
Well, I'm saying if they were to
Um,
play today,
The Lions will
I
win.
think the Lions will be favored. So I'm picking the
I mean, I
Lions.
think the Lions will be favored.
I
feel
think they should. I would say they're favored. If they were playing next week, then I would have them favored because I don't think that the Bills would be able to do it without Coleman and them boys. But if you're telling me in 3 weeks' time, where everybody should be healthy,
Yeah,
I don't know because I'm sitting here.
I'm-
You're talking about blowing out the Rams 54-6, right?
The
Something like that.
Jags?
Yesterday,
Oh, the Jags, right?
52-6.
Yeah.
52-6. So then, and I'm like, okay, let's look at common games that they've played. And I'm like, okay, so the Bills beat them 47-10, and they called the dogs off. So they could have put up more, but they called the dogs off and benched Josh. So I'm like, they're beating their common teams the same way.
But their point differential
And
is
then-
higher than yours.
And then the Bills have scored 30 in at least in their last 5 games. Nobody has scored 30 on the Chiefs in 2 years. So one team is blowing out a team, another team is putting up 30 on a defense that nobody else has been able to do in 2 years. So I don't know. That's why I'm going back and forth in my head.
But you're not. Yeah, because y'all
And
just
you're
had,
talking about winning
they-
in multiple ways. The Bills have shown that they can win in multiple ways. So I'm like, they're both answering the question.
y'all just had a close game against the Colts.
You can't. So we're just going. Okay. So we're doing close game against the Colts.
Didn't y'all lose on the road to the Texans?
They did.
They lost to the Bucks.
They did.
Hold on,
Talking,
but hold on. But that was a different Bucks team. That was a fully healthy, like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin Bucks team.
So when we're looking at this argument in terms of like, I
And
think,
y'all got thrashed by the Ravens.
I think the top 5 teams in the
With
league.
Amari, and you guys are talking about games without Amari too. Like it's a different Bills team. Acknowledge that, or are we not acknowledging that?
No, it's a
All
different
right
team.
then. So we're not talking about the Bills team before
that's
Amari
the
got there.
defense. But the defense still gave up 35.
That's because the offense it's complementary over there. The offense wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't
feel as
doing
though
nothing.
When we look at these teams, I feel like the top
Derrick
5
Henry
teams
ran for
right
like
now,
200 yards.
Lions, Bills, Ravens, Eagles, Chiefs. I feel like when we talk about
feel like-
being able to win in multiple ways, all of those teams have the ability to do that. It's really just who
I
do
can
you
use
trust the
that.
most.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I can
Joe.
use that.
Wow. It feels as though
Just don't do
we-
that. Don't
yeah,
do
see
that.
what you
Don't.
done did? It's your own fault. This TV was turned off. I feel as though it's who do you trust the most in
You
that
gonna turn my phone
situation. Who you trust most in that situation? Do you trust the
I trust
Lions
the Lions.
offense more than because a couple weeks ago it was the Ravens offense because of Lamar. Having Lamar and Derrick Henry, if you're able to depend on Lamar's arm and his legs and having Derrick Henry still be the headliner of said show, that team is the scariest.
Well, but the thing is, we never trust their defense.
Right.
We don't trust their defense right now,
We've
which
seen
is why.
enough.
Like, but these other teams is they have both offense and defense.
But the Lions have lost Aiden Hutchinson. Now they've done lost Alex Anzalone.
And
But their defense has been fine,
and it
for
hasn't
sure.
killed them.
It hasn't.
As I thought that was going to be detrimental to them, but it hasn't. They found a way to
like
still
their
win.
DBs,
Getting
especially their
picks.
safeties,
Brian Branch is hitting.
like Kirby Joseph hit. Like guys are playing above their means,
Yeah.
and I have to give respect to that.
Gotta give
like,
them credit. Yep.
I think that the Lions, to me, they have to be considered the number one only because that they're a team that, like we said, can do it in different ways, but also it's just like their explosiveness on offense where they can hit you in the ground game as explosive as just as like the playmakers they have in the passing game right now. Like I just feel like they are the most complete in terms of teams. Right?
They've looked the most complete.
They're just the most complete.
They look like they've had the least.
Like when we talk about flaws, like I feel like they're the one
two
team that has the least amount of flaws that I have seen.
When you look at the quarterback position, Josh Allen's issue was always turnovers, and Josh hadn't done that. Like, at all. And I don't feel like in terms of
other than the 5 interception game, Jared Goff hasn't done that either. And I mean, like it was a
interception game is crazy.
it was a crazy game, but it's like at the end of the day,
I understand where you're coming from because again, the Lions have looked the most complete. They're blowing teams out. They're having fun. They can do it however they wanted to, and they beat who they should have. They beat good teams, beat bad teams. With the Bills, what's weird with their situation, the Lions can spread out who they depend on. Josh Allen knew that he and their coordinators and coaches understood that they needed to somehow alleviate some of the pressure that Josh Allen had because he is able to meet it better than most quarterbacks because how he's able to take a 4th and 2 and run through people
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? He's able to.
That's why he's an elite quarterback, and a guy like Jared Goff isn't elite. But at the end of the day, like Jared Goff just had more weapons than Josh Allen. That's how you alleviate.
I don't know if that matters.
It does matter.
I mean,
that's how good quarterbacks alleviate and are able to beat the great ones is because they just usually either have more playmakers than the other guy, or they just have their best game in that game.
The biggest thing going for Jared Goff is that he doesn't have to play Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar in the playoffs. Or maybe Burrow.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because when you're able to keep up and have someone, again, who can take over a game, who your defense, even if they're a top 5 defense, top 10 defense, which you're going to play in the playoffs inevitably at some point, you're not going to be as concerned. You're going to have a certain swag about you because your quarterback can take you where you need to go. And when you, like Jared Goff, is able to depend on other folk and still make good decisions, still depend on play action, making good reads and things of that nature. When you look at the other quarterbacks, the Mahomes, the Allens, the Lamars and company, they're able to overcome. That's the only concern that I have with Jared Goff. That 5 interception game still can happen, even with all of these weapons, this line, these running backs. You know what I'm saying?
But they still win.
But they still won. Like I think about it, like look, the Lions. It's kind of like remember when the Rams with Stafford, right? That first year. And you're like, Stafford went from having really no weapons to all of a sudden, Cooper Kupp, OBJ. You have what was the running back?
Ty Gurley?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Ty Gurley.
It was Akers.
Cam Akers. And you're like, all of a sudden, they go crazy on offense. But it ends up being one of the things that helps them get over the hump.
I still think Matt Stafford is better than Jared Goff.
No, he's not though.
Today,
but he's not.
If you plug Matt Stafford on that Lions team, they're better.
Plug him back over there.
Yeah,
they're better.
They're not though.
Sorry, they're better,
but they're not.
All right, I don't know. Anyway, either way,
they have comparable weapons right now.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks, but I think that it's
the Lions' weapons are better.
Anyways,
the Lions' weapons are better.
Are we arguing the Rams are a better team than the Lions?
No.
Okay. So as I was saying,
There's no argument.
He said the weapons were comparable. That's a lie.
Either way,
It's not a lot.
Kobe
I
Parkinson's
think
better
it's
than Sam Laporta.
I think that it's interchangeable between the Bills and Lions at this point. Just based off of both of them can win in either way that they want to win. Both of them are proving that they can put up points on any team. So I don't really see a huge difference between them. One has 1 loss, one has 2 losses.
Yeah, so I
So
put the team with 1 loss
I
ahead
mean,
of the team with 2 losses. I mean,
okay. So the Chiefs then are better than the Bills.
yeah, y'all ain't beating them twice.
This is crazy.
No,
Not
This
beating-
is crazy. You see how you like?
yeah, y'all not
No,
beat. Bro,
so,
if
I'm
y'all
not-
so the
played,
Chiefs with
saying
if
1
y'all
loss,
if y'all
I'm not saying that
played
because I
again,
know-
if y'all played again, I will put everything on it. The Chiefs are gonna be favored.
I'm not saying that because
Favored or gonna win?
I go by what I
I
see,
think they're gonna win,
and what I
too.
see on the film is that the Bills may have more losses, but they're playing better football than the Chiefs. Like I don't,
so I
it's
don't know
something
standings going off
like,
record.
because
It's lazy.
Because when they play, because if they play again, who you gonna have to win?
no, because the thing is, C-Mac
Who you gonna have to win?
feels the same way about me saying, and I've been saying it for weeks, that the Lions are playing better football than the Chiefs.
If they play
And-
again,
and
who do you have to win?
And he got offended because
You're going off of odds because
Right.
the Bills beat them. You're not going because they're a better team. You're just saying, hey, well, you already beat them once. You can't sweep them. That's not the same. You're not going off because they're a better team.
because it was in the thing, and he kept leaning on the record. And I'm like, bro, like
That's
Mahomes,
lazy.
Mahomes he's having games where he could have cost his team. There are games where
It's so scary to talk against
it
Mahomes.
is.
That's
It
it
is.
Yeah,
is.
I'm
It's-
not doing that.
But there are games where I'm like, yo,
I'm
they should have put they
And you
should
shouldn't be scared.
But you look at the
When-
they beat the Ravens by 1 score. They beat the Bengals by a point. It took them 4 quarters to really put the Saints away. The Bucks game went into overtime. Like the Bills and Lions are putting teams like this. They're not
Putting them
even
to bed.
putting them to bed.
I think the biggest difference is the Lions like to leave their starters in and run up that score.
Which bothered me yesterday.
See, the Lions like to run up the score.
Why is
and
Amon-Ra still in the game?
the Bills don't do that. The Bills put up when they do that. They're like, all right,
let's do have
sit
fun.
down.
Okay, but you have another Aiden Hudson injury,
Right.
Then
So,
Yeah, but that's just a freak accident.
but
No,
you're speaking
no.
towards
But you know, Dan Campbell doesn't worry about those type of odds.
no, I'm not
but
doing it.
you're speaking towards my argument when I'm sitting here saying I think the Bills could blow teams out the same way, but they want to bench their dudes because they're not trying to
I don't know about the
risk
same way.
what you're talking about.
That's
So
you're putting a
is-
feather in your cap with that
Yeah, I don't know about the same way, man.
because you
Dan
pull your
Campbell,
starters quicker than the
Tom
Lions.
Thibodeau.
Yeah, I don't
If
know
I
about
don't,
that.
then I'd have the same high score as
But
you.
It makes you
no,
the better.
but that's only one
No,
game.
I'm just
It's only one
you're
game.
using that as an argument. I'm saying that the same thing you're saying about the Lions can be said about the Bills. I'm saying it's interchangeable.
But
That's my
how?
argument.
How so?
I just explained it to you, and
No.
you said
No, because I think because what you're saying that we pull our starters, but it's only one game that y'all really pulled the starters.
So wait, hold on. That
Two
was
games.
what you took away from what he said.
2 games that they pulled their starters.
No, he said they beat them the same way. They are able to put
And if
away.
they
They're
didn't,
putting away teams, but then they're just taking away their starters. You're saying because the Lions are putting up in the 40s and 50s
But
compared to the high 30s
but
that they're not
But
interchangeable.
we're making it as if that's a knock on the Lions.
it's
Like-
not.
Okay, look, all I know is point differential. Lions are 159 plus, and the Bills are 104. That's 50 points.
Okay.
They have the highest point differential in the league. The Lions
sure.
do. I'm going with
All
the
right.
Lions.
All right, cool. So how about this? The Bills have the highest turnover differential. They take a ball away every goddamn game.
And I'm still going with the Lions.
Here comes golf.
I'm still going with the Lions.
This is why I'm
Like-
interested in seeing this in 3 weeks, but I think they're interchangeable. I wouldn't be mad with either one. That's all I'm saying.
No,
I'm
not saying that they're both not great teams, but we said who you taking as a number one team. I said the
I'm
Lions.
saying the Lions.
That's still tough for me too. But I'm gonna go with Lions as well.
MVP.
Josh Allen.
I know who's the favorite, but who are you going with?
Josh Allen. I don't think Lamar can win the MVP with a season where they don't win a lot.
Well, I mean, they need to win their division for
You
starters.
need to do more than that.
But
Mm.
well,
I feel I picked Josh Allen to start the season, so I'm
You
just
did.
gonna stick with Josh.
Good
Allen.
on you.
It's good on me. I do what I can.
You giving no kudos because they pick your player?
He
I'm just
somebody was right. None of us was right on the MVP.
Thank you.
I get.
He ain't win it yet, so he ain't all the way
No,
right.
but he's right now. So good on him.
I was able to talk about when I was wrong. Just give me my one right. This is the one I got.
God dang.
All I got.
Maybe Saquon gets in there. But,
MVP.
we'll see.
So I've actually seen people think that Saquon.
I was
over
like,
Josh.
I have him as offensive player of the year.
Some
His
people have
numbers-
Saquon over Josh.
And this might be far fetched for some, but I was on the Derrick Henry campaign for a minute before yesterday. I mean, I know you look at the offense, you look at the
No,
Ravens
for-
offense
yeah,
and how they
for sure.
function, but this when Lamar is clicking, like we saw that last year. Honestly, we saw this type of Lamar last year. It's a different dynamic when you got a guy that can almost rush for 2,000 yards.
Okay, hold on. We didn't see this Lamar last year.
Won the MVP.
No, we did not. He
No,
was
no,
the
no.
worst MVP I've ever seen.
No, but
last
I'm saying,
year.
bro, like
And I'll stand by it.
like
I mean, he's
like this Lamar.
it's one of the worst.
No,
It's one of the worst.
yeah, it's one of the worst. But I'm just saying, like this Lamar, nah, but he's to me, he's even gotten better than what he was.
But to your point, I am in the minority of he got better because of 22.
You're absolutely right. You got dang right.
That's just me.
You got dang right.
yeah,
That's just me. Once Henry was placed on that field, that elevated Lamar. And
Lamar got elevated.
Yeah, that's just me. And I know a lot of
Okay.
people are going to give some flack for that, but Derrick Henry is a different breed, man. And not only just the numbers. I'm looking at the game, bro. The big runs that he has in the second half of games that are literally like going back to that Bucks game. Couldn't get anything. He had an 86-yard run to put him down in the red zone to put that game away late. Who basically won the game for him against the Bengals the first game around? Had that big run. He's.
I mean, okay,
It's not just
like
the numbers.
yes, he sealed the game, but Lamar had like 5 touchdowns.
I'm not taking that away from him. But what I'm saying is that, in my opinion, when it comes to Derrick Henry and his ability to make these type of plays late in games, I'm talking about these are not just run. These are these are back-breaking runs.
Yes,
Honestly,
yes.
That he's putting the game
Because
away.
this is one of the things that we said about the Ravens last year, where it's like they didn't put away teams in the
Yes,
end, and that's
right.
how they had some of their losses.
Yeah,
So yes, he definitely helps in that category.
yeah.
I personally think that the Ravens offense goes through Derrick Henry.
I would agree.
How, and they don't be using him all the time.
They run the ball more than they pass the ball. It's not an argument. They run the ball more than they pass the ball. And who's handling the rock?
But
Derrick.
he
So
doesn't
who
even lead.
going through.
He doesn't even because he doesn't even lead. It's not like he leads the NFL in carries. It's not like he
Ain't got nothing to do with that.
But
They
you're
run the ball more than they pass the ball.
yes, because Lamar Jackson is still running the football.
One thing about Lamar versus Derrick in terms of the MVP is that I don't know if one of y'all has said this, but they are taking away from each other. Like in terms of Saquon, like what we were talking about yesterday.
Saquon is doing it on his own.
Saquon it's not like Jalen Hurts is going to take the MVP from Saquon.
No.
I feel like if anybody from the Ravens is going to get it, it's going to be Lamar. It's not going to be Derrick Henry.
I'm in the same boat as E-Rob. I was on Derrick.
Yeah.
But
Yesterday,
if Josh gets the number 2, if Josh gets the 2 seed, it's a wrap.
Yesterday kind of hurt
for
a little
sure.
If the Bills get 2 seed, book it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, and that's what I'm.
What if they get the 1 seed?
If they get the 1 seed,
Oh, man.
there's in no world that Lamar should win this MVP if he does not get the 2 or the 1 seed, and he can't get the 1. So if he can't get to the 2, there's in no world Lamar should get it. There is a world where Derrick could get it if he gets the 2K.
He's not getting the 2K.
I don't.
But
I think
if he's slowed down,
I think
then
yesterday
that's
slowed.
a wrap.
I think
yesterday slowed it down because he
Yeah.
just didn't get the carries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and they should have probably
and he had the
had
fumble.
more carries.
And he had the
He
fumble.
did have that fumble.
But he still averaged 5 yards a carry.
So and that's why I was saying they should have probably given him the
But
ball more.
he leads the league in yards per carry with 6.
Yeah.
As a running back, in terms of you getting an MVP, you can't have games like that though. Like multiple. He's had 67 yards the last 2 games. He's gonna have to like pick it up crazy.
Yeah, he's starting to slow it down.
Yeah.
So
pick it up crazy.
If that's the case, it is what it is. So who are you going with now then? You told us who you have.
Right now, I'll have to say Josh.
You guys think it'll close out with Josh?
Wow. Look at your quarterback. Get him love.
That means if he gets the 2 seed,
Yeah.
The 1 or 2 seed, whichever one.
To
And the
me,
Bills-
Good or lose it.
to me,
Y'all
it's
have a
either
tough schedule too.
it's either gonna
Exactly.
be Josh
They
or
could
Sway.
the 3 seed.
Yeah,
If he ends up the 3 seed,
Josh
I
or
don't know if he
Saquon.
gets it.
Josh or Saquon, because then Saquon, the Eagles will probably be the 2 seed, and you can say possibly the Eagles.
I'll push back on that. Honestly, it may come down to that game, Bills at Lions, because the Lions have a really good chance to get the number 1 seed right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Lions get the number 1 seed, I think Jared Goff is definitely in the conversation for sure.
True enough.
So
Because he got back into the conversation after last week's game where he
Yeah.
thrown for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Now I know
Or
the five
yesterday's game.
interception game messed it up, but if he can
But
continue,
he
he got back on track, and if he can continue against the teams that he has down, you still got the Niners, you still got the Bills. I think if the Lions get the number 1 seed, Goff is in that conversation for sure.
All right, we're gonna wrap it there. Talked
I
a
would be
lot, did a
upset
lot. We've been
if
gone for a
Barkley
minute,
over
so we put
Barkley
in a little
or
extra
Josh.
work. But I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, share on all socials. Join us
Yes,
on
sir.
whatever way you want to join us. We'll be around. We're gonna continue to be around every Monday and
We didn't
Thursday.
even do the introductions.
Oh, we didn't.
We just hopped in.
But with that all being said, I am Cordell.
Marcus.
E-Rock.
Deuce.
Till next time, be easy, be breezy,
is kinda
and
crazy.
please
Right.
take it easy.
They don't know who he is.
They don't know who these fools are.